I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an obstacle. Run it back, switch it up, call it audible. Serving up them Hail Marys till the game over with. The showstopper so hot, you gotta blow on it. I said I'll huff and I'll puff, then I'll pass to my left while I'm looking to my right. Hit them right in the chest, it be looking like magic. Better give me the throne. I ain't talking about Patrick, but I rep my home. I'm never at the end of my zone, I'm bad to the bone. Eating up these pig skins like they chicharrones. And you a douche cabron. Mira, mira at the mirror on the wall. I'm the greatest of them all. They gon' put me in the hall. Your name is only written in a bathroom stall. Quit your stalling and make a play. My drive too long, pop the clutch, I don't pump the brakes. I know what it takes to gain the muscle, get rugged. These butterfingers be fumbling, squash the scrimmage and rub it in Robitussin. How I give them concussion, they see in double, they rushing and pass the shovel, the dirt and rubble, I bury them under it. Stay in your huddle and get 10 yards back, never turn your back. I'ma pull your flag, I go full contact, out punch, out kick like a shotgun blast on one out snap. It's a fact that I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an obstacle. Run it back, switch it up, calling audible. Serving up them Hail Marys till the
Welcome back to a new episode of Hush to My podcast. And how we feeling, guys? Since the draft was a couple of days ago, how we feeling so far since then? I know some guys are indifferent, but how you guys are feeling? I didn't ask you guys that. We haven't really talked. Oh, you muted.
I'm you, Austin.
I don't have myself muted.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, I like the draft. I feel good about it.
What about you, Reese? I think it was a second round pick you was probably scratching your head, or maybe the Wally pick.
Yeah. I mean, I think overall it was actually a pretty good draft, right? I think they addressed needs. Ballard finally did the smart thing in the first two rounds. Well, no, I lied. In the first round, he did the smart thing, right? The second round, I think they went for scheme fit versus football need. And I don't know. Ballard didn't say. I watched the post game presser. I don't know if I think there was another player in mind that they had in that second round, and I think they got taken, and so they kind of had to switch. But I could be wrong about that, right? Because they ended up picking a player on the defensive line, but it wasn't the player I was hoping they would get.
I was hoping Will Johnson with that pick.
I personally was hoping Alfred Collins was going to fall because I think Alfred Collins would have been the perfect backup to Stewart and Buckner because he can play inside and outside, and he's also a bigger guy with speed, right? Like I think JT Tuimoloau is actually pretty good, and I think he's freakishly athletic. Which is something popular for Ballard. He's actually produced, but we'll see what turns out. I'm curious to see how they use him in the system. But I think beyond that, I think it was a solid draft. I think they addressed a lot of needs, and obviously the big fish was getting Tyler Warren, which is I think Austin and I both had as our first round pick. So the fact that he fell to us. Oh, all three of us. Hey, the fact that he fell to us and Ballard didn't do anything like, fancy was I was happy about that.
Yeah, I agree. I know fans are probably still celebrating this game against the Pacers and the Bucks. So I know you guys probably drinking your beers and cheering up right now before you enter the show. You're new to the episode. We're just recapping the draft picks. I'll be frank with you guys. I'm going to be honest before we get into this episode. I was a little worried. I thought maybe Ballard would get complacent and just start fucking shit up. I'm just going to be real. I thought it was like, I thought maybe he'll trade back in the first with Tyler Warren and the other guys available. Tyler Warren and Pierce and the other guys we mentioned. But he stayed the course and the guy fell in his lap and he got the guy. But let's go ahead and get into the episode, man. Our first pick, all three of us, with the exception of Ryan, we all picked Tyler Warren. And on the episode last week, we was we were surprised that teams did things like the Bears pick, Colston Loveland. That was a very surprise pick for the first tight end to get off the board. But yeah, nevertheless, the guy that we wanted fell to our laps. Like you said, Ballard didn't have to trade up, didn't have to trade down, he didn't have to do anything, but just stay the course and draft the guy that was in front of him. I think what we did see, what we saw in the next coming days, that Tyler Warren was prank call at the seventh pick. We didn't know that until now. He was prank call around the time Jets was picking, and so he didn't know where he was going to be drafted at that time. But 7 picks later, he got drafted by us. But let's go with the first pick, Tyler Warren. Go ahead. What you think about that, Austin?
I mean, obviously, if you watched the live, you saw we were all excited. That's who everybody wanted. Well,
Hey, Teresa.
everybody here wanted. And he's going to come in and make an immediate impact on our offense. So I mean, it's an exciting pick. It's a need we've needed for a long time now. So yeah,
Yeah, when you
I
say
love it.
long, when you say long, you mean since Jack Doyle, which is
Yeah.
a very long time. Yeah, I thought, see, it's a bad comparison to me, but having Tyler Warren is like having a newborn. I was so excited. The pick was, I was so excited. I don't know how desperate we have been to get a tight end, and tight end his caliber, and to get to fall in our laps. But I don't want to get too excited. I'll let Harish speak on how he felt about the first pick.
Yeah, it was a great pick. Listen, this tight end room needed to be flipped on its back. And Tyler Warren does that. You can use Tyler Warren in ways that you can't use these other guys, right? Jelani Woods, we still don't know if the guy can stay healthy for more than 5 seconds, right?
Right.
Alec Ogletree showed some flashes, right? And the rest of these guys are just camp bodies. Like, I don't know. I honestly, at this point, I don't think Mo Cox is going to make this roster. Because I think Will Mallory can do everything Mo Cox can do, and he's 5 years younger.
Yeah.
I think Jelani Woods can do, he can grow and develop as a blocker. He's 4 years younger than Mo Cox. Like, I find, unless we take 4 tight ends, which we might, I find it really hard. And Jelani Woods stays healthy, right? I think that's probably the only reason why Mo Cox is on this roster is health. If those guys can stay healthy, heck, I just don't see Mo Cox making this team this year. But I'm excited. I think this is exactly what this is tight end room. Now I feel like this offense is complete.
Yes.
And if AR can just improve by 25% this year, that's all I'm asking. This offense is going to be just fine. I think this offense is going to be really good if Anthony Richardson can improve by 25%. If he improves by more than 25%, this offense has an opportunity to be deadly.
So you think this pick was based off the improving a young quarterback going into his 3rd year?
I think it's that. I think it's also just giving him a security blanket. If you look at a lot of times, right? Like, how many times did Anthony Richardson want to get bailed out by a tight end and he couldn't because they dropped the ball, or they can't block, and so somebody hits him, so he doesn't have the opportunity to get that extra second he needs to get the ball off, right? Or maybe because he can't set his feet because the right tackle and the tight end both can't hold a block for more than 5 seconds or 2 seconds, right? Like, those are the things. Tyler Warren's not just going to catch the ball. This guy can be used everywhere. He's an excellent blocker. He's got great hands. He's a very, very high IQ guy. He's physically unreal for his age. Like he's 6', what is he, 6'7", 257? Like
Yeah.
this is a big dude. And he's a football player, right? That's the other thing I love this pick. And I think what Ballard, I'm starting to feel like this is probably the most complete offseason Chris Ballard has ever had. Like I can't
agree.
think of an offseason where he had a really good free agency and a really good and a decent draft. Like I can't think of one where he's done both at least decent.
So Teresa said Warren isn't getting 40. We kind of knew that. He isn't getting 44. He has he got a story behind it. Zaire wants to keep it. We respect that he's 7-8 year veteran. Team with the other number, and he says 10 was.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they decided what number he's going to get yet.
But
AD has 10 because of his daughter.
Yes. So, I mean, I'm thinking like 84 because that's what Jack Doyle had. Something
14.
in the 80s. He went 14. Who?
I think it's his. I think yeah. Oh wait.
That's Pierce.
Pierce. I saw some people say 4. 4 would be cool. I don't know, but I don't think he's picked yet.
Yeah, but he's still probably paying those things out because everybody's interested on want to know what he's getting for his jersey number. I get it if he wore 0, but 0 is my buying him. But I don't care where you wear. I don't want any 40 numbers. No, nothing in the 40s. That's ugly. I don't think
he's not sure yet.
He's still okay. But just piggyback off what both of you guys were saying. The guy's what 23. He's same age as our quarterback. He's same age as Anthony Richardson, so he's on par to grow and develop with the young quarterback, which we want to raise the level of confidence in him. I mean, like you said, a lot of quarterbacks have a safety net. I'm not comparing the quarterbacks, but you got, Patrick Mahomes have Kelsey. Brock Purdy, who's probably going to get paid. You got Kittle, who just got paid. And the list go on. I mean, I can't go off the top of my head, but the list go on. Yeah, I mean, whatever quarterback Geno has, Meyer and Brock Bowers. So, I mean, they got safety nets. It's time for us to have our guy, to have our tight end, to able to help our young quarterback out. So I was excited to see that pick come across the screen. And I'm excited to see not only that he can block, he's a pass catcher, he's able to be a playing receiver, he can be a fullback, he can be a running back. Also played, I think, quarterback in high school. I think he said he did play quarterback in high school. So he's a Swiss Army knife, as everybody would say. He can do it all, and I'm excited to see how they scheme him in his offense. Shane got a lot of work to do. I know Shane is licking his chops right now to have a guy that he can do a lot with. He said he can put him on defense, which is being funny. I hope not.
I think it was kind of joking, but maybe he wasn't. I don't know.
Yeah, put him at linebacker,
bro. He's built like a linebacker.
It definitely is. You said 260 what? You said
267 or 257.
That's a big dude.
Basically 260, right? Yeah, that dude. He's a big dude. Big dude.
That's a big dude. So I'm excited. I know you guys excited. I know the fans are excited. Teresa said 18. I doubt that. I doubt you get that. It's not retired, is it? I don't think it's retired yet.
Not yet. I don't think so. Actually, no. What?
Peyton's gonna pull a Warren Moon and bring the 18 jersey out and say,
right,
you can wear it.
Because Marvin Harrison number's not retired. Reggie Wayne number's not retired, so those numbers are available. We just haven't seen anybody wear 87 or 88 or 18. We've seen people wear 12. So it's gonna be exciting to see.
Do the numbers get retired whenever they go in the Ring of Honor, or
it's pretty much up to the team.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's just pretty much up to the team. They decide what they want to retire that number, and the other team wear it. So I expect Peyton Manning to be retired. We know that's going to happen. So the second round pick, I can't say his last name. That's probably why a lot of fans were scratching their head because they couldn't say his last name. But when you watch his film, even just in a playoff game, in the playoff during the college playoff. He had 6.5 sacks just in the playoff alone. That's impressive. You don't like
Very
a guy
good.
that's
Yeah.
that's very good. So the guy was when you saw him, is either him or the guy was number 33, Sawyer.
Sawyer, yeah.
You saw those two guys on that tape. And those guys, just watching him get to the quarterback, even with the pressure, it helps us with a lot to Quiddy Pay, DeForest Buckner. It helps a lot. The guy is a game wrecker. I'm not saying he's gonna change our defense and make our defense like second coming of the Bears or Steelers, but you'll see a better defense than you've seen the past 3 to 4 years with Gus Bradley, with Lou Anarumo dialing up blitzes to get those young DNs to get to the quarterback. But how you guys feel about that pick? I know a lot of fans were saying, "What? Who was that guy? I don't know him." But if you watch Ohio State, you saw that guy for the past couple of years making plays. Last year he had 12 and a half sacks. So like I said, he even had 6 just in the playoffs. So you add that to the 12, guy's a game record. Go ahead, Arish.
Yeah, I think the thing that stuck out to me about JT Tuimoloau,
I can't say
is his athletic ability versus his play as an end. There was one play where JT, let me see, I can't remember who it was. He basically plays defensive end, and I think it was against Penn State. And as a defensive end, he like deflects the ball and intercepts it, and then takes it back for a touchdown. And he actually has like decent speed for his size. Like, I think he ran like
4.6.
a 4.6, yeah. Which at his size is kind of insane. Like he's not a small dude. He's 270, right?
He built like a tackle.
270. He what?
He built like a D tackle.
Yeah, and he can play D tackle too. Like I think Ohio State used him sometimes at D tackle. Again, flexibility. That's the one thing that comes to mind. Would I have spent a second round pick on him? Probably not. I think they could have gotten him in the 3rd round. But I think what happened was, if you look at this point in the draft, right? If I look at what was happening, defensive tackles started to fall defensive linemen started to fall really quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
JT Sanders went 9th in the 41st, right? 9th in that round. Alfred Collins, of course, obviously. And then even right before that, the other Ezarazu, the defensive end from Florida State. So that's 3 defensive linemen and 5 picks. And it just became a run of defensive linemen, right? So I felt like they didn't think they had an option. They had to take a defense. They had to take him then, because of what was happening on the board. So that's what I think happened at this point. Because even after that, Nick Scorton goes, Olufemi Oladejo out of UCLA falls 5-6 picks later, right? And so it just became a run on defensive linemen, and I think that's kind of where their minds came in, is like, if we're gonna get this guy, we have to get him.
And I'm not mad about that, because then we had pass rush on all of our mock drafts. So I think a lot of the pass rush was more so 3rd and 4th round, maybe. I think.
Yeah, they could have gotten him later. I think they could have gotten him in the 3rd round, but I think it just ended up being. Actually, I don't think they would have gotten him in the 3rd round. In the 3rd round, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defensive linemen went before they picked in the 3rd round. So I don't think they would have gotten him if they didn't get him where they got him, and I think that's what it came down to.
Yeah, it's sometimes luck can play a part in it, but like you said, the 2nd round with those a lot of picks of D line and the edge rush was come out the board. You don't want to take those chances to where you don't have that time to go back into 4th and 5th round, or even the 6th round, because I think you had 2 6th round picks to get him. So, go ahead with your take, Austin.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing that stuck out to me was the 6.5 sacks in the playoffs, like you mentioned. But everybody's saying he's a Lou guy. Like, he's the type of guy that Lou likes to use on the defensive end. So, I mean, if he can come in and make an immediate impact in Blues defense, it's a great pick in round 2, but we'll just have to wait and see how he adjusts to the NFL. But I mean, I'm excited for him. I do think he'll play. I think he'll. They got him thinking he might be Quiddy's replacement because Quiddy's on his last year, and I think he does what Quiddy does in the run game, but has a better pass rush already. So we'll just have to wait and see how he actually develops in the NFL. But I'm pretty excited for him.
Yeah, what we didn't mention too, the guy got long arms. He's able to shed shed the blocks and get either set the edge or get to that quarterback with those simple moves. I've seen him had a spin move like Dwight Freeney. I was like, oh, that's impressive. And he's kind of low to gravity type, rusher, similar to Dwight Freeney. But he has those long arms to where he can either push with power to get to the quarterback. I seen him push. I don't know if it's a Texas game where he pushed that guy into the quarterback. I was like, that guy's strong as shit. And he got some long arms. So, and he able to he's not a technician for his moves. He maybe have about 2 moves, but I think he can develop to get more moves. I don't want to get too excited, but he can possibly be our Trey Henderson. I think he can be our version of it. He won't be the the best version of him, but he'll be our version, because it's Latu. And I'm excited to see him and Latu together. But a lot of people think that probably was we should have waited. But the 3rd round pick, Justin Wally. A lot of people said it was a reach. We should have got him. What's your take on that, Austin? You think that it was a reach? It was too soon to get a pick. But what's your take on Justin from Minnesota?
Yeah. So obviously, when we first drafted him, I wasn't sure who he was, but like a lot of Colts fans, I went and watched stuff on him, and like his tape is something to get excited about. He plays. He's all over the field. He's a good tackler, which we needed last year. So, and again, I think he's another Lou type of guy on defense. So he's one of the guys that I think a lot of people didn't like, but now he's like becoming like a favorite somehow.
You think that? I think. Do you think this is for both of y'all? Do you think that them selecting him was due to the 4-2-5 defense? Since we want to have 2 linebackers, you think about that, Harish? That's why they got him, to have another, because they say he can play. He's another nickel, which is the same spot as Kenny Moore.
Ballard talked about this, I think, in the post game or in the post draft presser. It's like they want to run a lot more nickel, and this probably helps with that. I don't know if this guy is gonna work, especially like where you get him and what they're trying to ask of him in year 1. I don't know if that's gonna work out. We'll see. I mean, he looks like a really good football player. He looks like he looks like a he's not as big, but he can't play slot, but he plays big, if that makes sense. He's physical at the line. He's got some speed on him. So we'll kind of see how this one plays out. I don't know if this works out in year 1, but if Ballard and that this regime ends up staying, right? I think this is a guy that's going to actually be a bigger impact in like year 2. I don't know if he's going to be a big impact this year. I don't expect him to be a huge impact this year.
Yeah, I don't see him right away, guy. I don't see him right away, being able to be that guy. We got too many cornerbacks that he have to work. I mean, now if he beat him out, yeah.
We'll definitely play. I think that's the one thing we've got to realize. Like, and I was talking about this with Tim Wayne last night on the Longhorn show. Defenses play so many snaps now. Guys are gonna play. Like these guys that play in the 4th, they get drafted in this like 3rd to 7th round. They're going to play, right? And I think this the one thing that I do like about this is that they'll play and they'll actually get enough playing time because you need to have. This is where depth is really important, and getting those guys at like the top end really matters. Some skill guys, so that these guys can fill in those depth roles and play a certain role, right? This is where depth really matters. And I think that's where we'll see a lot of him like this year is he'll play a certain role so that he can kind of get that ability to grow. And if he plays that role really well, I think we'll really see his impact next year when his role gets started.
I agree. I mean, probably see it more on like you said. I don't know if you said special teams or not, but it's probably a role on special teams until then.
For sure.
Until it increases on the defensive side. But
yeah, for sure.
Speaking of massive or big, just think about that 4th round pick, Mr. Travis, Mr. Jalen Travis out of Ohio State. That's a big guy. I think he was like 6'4", 6'6". I think he's a swing tackle.
Yeah.
Man, I was excited about this pick. I wasn't so sure for the 2nd round pick or 3rd round pick, the 4th round pick. I was excited to get this guy to have a swing tackle. And I thought maybe he's a pick for possibly if Braden was ever retired. We have a guy that already on the system and we can just plug in. But what's your take on that, Austin?
I mean, yeah, like you said, he's huge. I think he'll fit in great. I think he'll win the swing tackle role from Blake Freeland. And we need that because, like last season, obviously Braden Smith went through what he went through, but he's also dealt with injuries, and Ryman has also dealt with injuries. So we need somebody who can play both tackle positions, and I think he'll come in and be that backup role for both of them. And he's a really smart guy. I think he graduated from Princeton, so to have
Ooh.
somebody to just have the mind that he has plus football, I think it'll be great for that offensive line move.
Yeah, seeing that video of how he handled Mike Green from Marshall, that was very pleasing. Go ahead, Harish.
Yeah, massive dude. This dude's massive. And he moves well for his size. I think that's the other piece. Now I don't know. It'll be interesting. Like they talk about pad level a lot, like at this level, and like making sure that you play at an appropriate pad level. That's the thing that's going to be really interesting for him, and I think that's something he can develop. I depending on what happens with Braden Smith, because is Braden Smith in the last year of his contract?
I know they restructured, so I don't know if it's either got 2 more years or maybe his last year,
Yeah.
but they did restructure to get Cap back.
I could see, and I don't, and maybe this may not happen, but I would be really interested in seeing if they move this guy to the swing tackle, to the right tackle, and move Braden Smith back into guard.
Well, I saw something with Matt Glaze being that right guard. But yeah, I've been saying if Brady Smith go back to guard position, and you put Travis
his natural position,
right?
He's naturally a right guard, right? Like I think that's where he's going to be the most successful. In my opinion, like if this guy can develop quickly, Braden Smith would be a great guard. And I think it really like shores up this offensive line even more, right? Bortolini will be not Bortolini. Is it Bortolini? Yeah, Bortolini will be the center, right? Then you obviously have Ryman on the left side. You can use this guy as your right tackle, and then you obviously have Quentin Nelson and Braden Smith. That's a pretty good offensive line.
Yes.
And it's massive, right? They're big. Blake Freeland is pretty big. Obviously, Quentin Nelson is big. You've got some big boys in front of Anthony Richardson that are also athletic, which you need for an athletic quarterback. So I think if he can develop quickly, I honestly would be surprised if he does not become your swing tackle and you move Braden Smith back inside. That would be ideal for me.
Because Freeland is not that good at this point right now.
Well, I mean, Freeland's a good backup, right? But I think this guy could be better, and he's played in pass heavy offenses, right? Like Iowa State's a pass heavy offense. The Big 12 plays a lot of offensive football, and so he's played in pass heavy offenses his entire career, and he's a smart guy. Like you said, he graduated from Princeton.
What is French the backup center? Wesley French.
Yeah, Wesley French. Yep, he's listed as a backup center. Yeah. Actually lists Danny Pinter as the starter.
Oh.
Well, as it lists not this. There's no depth charts yet, but it lists Danny Pinter as a center. Bortolini's listed as a guard, but it also says Bortolini's still a rookie. So I don't think the rosters are fully updated yet.
I mean, I wouldn't mind putting Bortolini at the right guard either. But I mean, Coach Spano he got some work to do for us getting those guys having the right combination for their line. I mean, they did well last year with getting Mark Glow back and just having Ryan Kelly at center, but Mark gone, lost Will Fries, he got paid, so I mean, I expected him to leave. It just needs guys that and Tanner is pretty good. Berlin is pretty good, so to fill in that center or right guard spot. So I prefer center. I don't know what Danny Pinter would play. I mean, did he play right guard as well too? At one point, 2 years ago, I think he played right guard.
Yeah, Pinter's played.
So yeah, he filled in,
and
didn't he?
center.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's who he got hurt at. I think he got hurt playing right guard. So it'd be interesting what they do with this line because it's been the top line for the past couple of years. If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it and mess up what's already going. They got continuity together. I mean, those guys, big boys, have been working together. Just seeing Nelson and Travis on the same line that's scary. Those are some big boys, big dudes. We see what Nelson can do. So, any last take before we move to the pick that everybody has been buzzing over. Well, I'll go ahead to the 5th round pick. We got a running back out of Kansas State. I think his name is DJ Gidding. Am I right, guys? Everybody is excited about this running back. The guy, I think he had 1,300 rushing yards at Kansas State. Was a great pick. I didn't think we would get this guy. I didn't think I was even possibly figuring would he be RB2 over Herbert because the guy is just that good in the passing, running, blocking, you name it, as a running back. He's a great pass catching running back. We need other than having JT and having Herbert. This is no slate, nothing on Tyler Goodson. He done what he done, but I think his reign is over now with us having DJ Giddings. But I'll let you guys glaze over it. Go ahead, Harish. But I'll let Austin go first.
Yeah. So I think he could come in and be RB2 over Herbert. Obviously he's fast, like you said, he can pass catch. I heard he does need help working on his pass blocking, but apparently he had surgery on his wrist, and he said after all that he's gonna work hard on his pass blocking. But like he could come in and he could make an immediate impact at RB2. I think he's shifty, he's hard to tackle. Like you say, he had 1,300 yards. Solid running back. Good to get him in the 5th round. Yeah.
Was good, Josh. Didn't he play with a bad wrist all year?
Yeah, that's what he said.
So that's impressive. I mean, it's kind of hard to block when you got a bad wrist, so you only can just run the ball, or possibly. I'm surprised he even caught some passes with a bad wrist, but to block a lineman or linebacker, it's gonna be tough with a bad wrist. So I'm excited for this pick, but I'll let Harish go ahead and take over on his assignment because he know the guy because it's old conference, right? Yeah, it's your old conference you played in.
Yeah, old conference, and he ate Texas alive a couple times. That was before Texas had a good defense. I love this pick. I love this pick. He is the perfect complement to JT. He's exactly what you need when you have JT, who's JT's kind of like a power back with finesse, right? But JT, like we can acknowledge, JT's not a great pass catcher. He's not. He's just not. Right. And I think that's the downside to Jonathan Taylor's game is he doesn't catch the ball very well. DJ Giddens catches the ball very, very well.
Yes.
So that's the one, and he could run a lot of routes on the route tree. There are two guys in this draft that I was like, man, that would be three guys really. Devin Neal, DJ Giddens, and Jaden Blue are the three guys that I was like, oh wow, any three of these guys would be perfect as a compliment. I think his ability to catch the ball is where he's going to be really, really good in the beginning, and his ability to stay up even while getting tackled and breaking tackles. That's where his value is going to come. Is the ability to stay up when getting tackled. I think Shane mentioned this. Like he called it something. I don't remember what he said, but essentially his ability to stay up when he gets hit is where his value is really going. This is probably my favorite value pick of this draft.
Yeah, he has good balance, like you said.
Balance, that's what it was. He has excellent balance. There you go. That's the word, balance.
I got you, man. I got you.
I appreciate it, man. That's why you're the host, man. You know all the good stuff. We just come here and say you're the man.
No. I can't take all that.
You're the man. You're the man.
But yeah, I was excited to see this pick. I know some are taking it further, even a step further than where we are, and saying that next possibly could be JT replacement. I don't think that we're there yet because he haven't played yet. But there's some potential there. They decided want to make move on from JT via trade or whatnot. Since he signed a 3 or 4 year deal, so he's in his second year into that deal. Because I really love this pick. He does have to work some on pass blocking, but when you got a guy that can catch out of the backfield and can take it to the house, he took it to the house a couple times in his tenure at that program. And I'm excited to see that. JT is pass catching is not his game. You want a pass catching running back. We had that with Joseph Adai. We had that with Donald Brown, who wasn't great at running because he was a smaller back. Marshall Faulk and the Hall of Famer Edgerrin James. Those great pass catching running backs. And that's what you need in the offense to help your young quarterback out, is a guy that can catch those checkdowns and get positive yards, whether it be 4 or 5 yards, but anything that gives you positive yards to move the chain, gets you closer to move the chain. So I like this pick. And like you said, the guy he didn't seem like he was happy when he got drafted. It seemed like it was more so all about business, that he was just ready to get on the field and play for the guys. And I'm excited for him to get on the field and prove himself. Because Herbert only got a 1 year deal, so he got the potential to be RB2 by the end of this year, going into next year, depending on what Herbert does. Herbert is a decent bag as well. He's been around the league, but having DJ as another guy that can make plays out of the backfield, I'm excited to see that. This next pick, I'm not so excited about. There's a 6th round pick, Notre Dame guy. A lot of fans, some fans were excited. Some fans say that, this is a guy that's going to be a starting quarterback. His name was Riley Leonard, the first pick, one of our first pick in the 6th round. Quarterback Riley Leonard. Again, I'm not so excited, but I'll let you guys break down what you thought about that pick. You probably thought that we shouldn't have got that. You should have just got an undrafted quarterback and used that pick for something else. But go ahead, Harish.
Yeah, you might as well just not have drafted a quarterback at all.
Yeah, I don't think you should have done it.
I don't. There's nothing against the guy. Like, I think he's a good kid, right? Obviously, has a lot of experience. Was the captain of the Notre Dame team. Led them to the national title. He's fine. Mm-hmm. He's like whatever. I'm
still scratching. Josh said he's better than yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of the quarterback better than him.
Everybody was better than Shuck. I don't know what they were thinking. Tyler Shuck is a quarterback who played mid and was in college for 85 years because he got injured every other year. So
He should be receiving a pension pretty soon, right?
he was pretty darn close. But Tyler Shuck has injured both of his shoulders. I think also like a fibula or something like that. In like 3 out of the 7 years he played. And
Watching him throw that pass at the combine.
He can't even throw a drag route.
Wow.
But he was drafted in the second. The evaluation of quarterbacks in this draft was almost criminal.
Yeah.
Like
There's a
I
lot
was so close to like, man, in the 3rd or 4th round, like if they wanted to if I was Chris Ballard in that 3rd round, and I don't know where. Let me check something real quick before I said something.
He said, I'm just saying, Leonard is that. I mean, you're not saying he's bad. It's just I don't think he should have used that pick. He probably wouldn't have got drafted. I think we could have got him in as an undrafted, because I think that's what Quinn Ewers didn't get drafted at all, right?
No, he did.
But he did.
He got drafted in the 7th round, but Quinn Ewers' problem is his health. I told you guys this. If Quinn Ewers could stay, Quinn Ewers hasn't played a full season of football since his junior year in high school. It's been 6 years since Quinn Ewers has played a full season of football. Like that was Quinn's problem. So he didn't really develop as a quarterback in college, right? Well, everybody's like, well, Quinn can't throw the deep ball. Quinn's never been able to, develop a deep ball. I think Quinn going as the backup in Miami where there's no pressure was great for him. I don't think Miami was the greatest option for him just because of like the attention and stuff. But I think he's better than Tua. I think if Quinn stays healthy, he will beat Tua like head to head, like straight up.
True said we should got a center with that pick.
We needed to get a guard or a linebacker. Yeah. That's the one thing I was kind of surprised that we didn't get. I was surprised we didn't get a linebacker. Like at all. And this was a pretty good linebacker class. Like they could have gotten Cody Simon in the 4th round. They could have gotten there's a lot of different guys they could have gotten. This is the one pick that was a head scratcher to me. Danny Stutzman in the 4th round, Barrett Carter in the 5th round. You could have gotten Shamar James. Like there's a lot of good coverage quarterbacks in this draft, and I just this is the pick I don't understand. I would have been better off just not drafting one at all. This is like one of those, or waiting to the 7th round, right? Like he's gonna be probably the 3rd quarterback on the roster. I'm not a fan at all of this pick.
Oh, this comment, Josh said Ewers would be the starter by week 10. I mean, they do have Zach Wilson. I don't think he'd beat Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson's terrible. Quinn Ewers is better than Zach Wilson too. Quinn Ewers will start the season as the number 2, and because Tua can't stay healthy, Quinn's gonna play. If Quinn plays and he doesn't have to play for 10 weeks, he's gonna be completely healthy when he starts for this team.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And he's gonna absolutely obliterate. Like I'm telling you, Quinn Ewers is a high IQ quarterback. He just could not stay healthy. You've seen it time and time again, and the moments that he's had against big teams and big moments. This dude Quinn Ewers can play. He just can't stay healthy. That was his problem.
Go ahead with your take, Austin.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's not a pick that's going to make an impact at all. But like, we kind of knew we were going to get a quarterback just because we didn't re-sign Sam. So I mean, I'm fine. I didn't love getting him, but I don't hate it. I guess like it's fine.
I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, the guy, Notre Dame up the street. So
yeah, I mean, he was happy to be here.
Right, he was. That's the only team he wanted to be drafted by. I mean, the guy who kept saying that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's easy for him, right? He doesn't have to go anywhere.
Right.
He goes like 45 minutes up the road, right? He's good.
So, I mean, I can't be mad about that. A guy wanted to stay home, stay close to home. So, because I think he's from Alabama though. I think he's been working out with Phillip Rivers. So, he's been working with the pro quarterback. I don't know if Rivers is going to be a Hall of Famer, but I don't know his numbers to be exact to be a Hall of Famer. So I don't know, but Rivers is a pretty good quarterback in the league. So he said we could have gotten. What did he say? Could have drafted Jay Higgins from Iowa.
Is that the wide receiver?
I think, but Texans got him anyway, right? We wouldn't
Technically back to back. Iowa State.
That was
from Iowa. Yeah. Who? I know this name. Let me go check real quick.
Go ahead.
Jay Higgins. This name does sound familiar.
Oh, we can briefly talk about it. I don't want to make it, to where it baits people to make it feel like it's a race thing, but because it's not. But yeah, we'll talk about that, Teresa. Yeah, linebacker.
I know. Yeah, linebacker. I know who you're talking about, though. Yep, there he is, linebacker. Like I said, there were so many linebackers in this draft that I thought we could have had or picked. This was and I think we talked about it before the draft, right? This was a very good linebacker class. It was a very deep linebacker class.
Was it Demetrius Knight that I thought one of us wanted?
Yep, Demetrius Knight, who ended up going.
He went a little earlier than I thought he would, though.
Yeah, he went Demetrius Knight went in the second round. Carson Schweswinger, who I thought would fall to the fourth, went in the second round. And I don't know what's happening in Philadelphia, but they always end up with these guys that people just glance over for whatever reason. How they ended up with Jahad Campbell in the first round and then turned around and pick up Andrew Makuba in the second round. Like, come on, dude.
I had the Georgia linebacker, Samuel Moulton Jr.
Yeah. Yep. They got him in the fifth round. Again, another linebacker, which I think they traded up for.
You said the Eagles got him?
Yeah, the Eagles got him. The Eagles got Ty Robinson. Like, dude, the Eagles draft was awesome.
They love Alabama and they love Georgia, so.
They're producing not Alabama last year, but they're producing all the talent, right?
We only got two linebackers last year. That was pretty good.
Yeah, but yeah, dude. Yeah, Eagles are unreal.
I don't know how they do it. It's just like
the best player available. They said, "Hey, we need a guy at the disposition. Who's the best guy?" Oh well, nobody picked Jahai Campbell. We need a linebacker. Let's go get that guy.
Yeah.
I think that's literally how they do it.
And then we trade back. We trade back to get 2 6
picks, right?
To get 2 6. But the other pick.
Oh yeah, we get another sixth. Yeah.
So we got DT, a D tackle, Tim Smith out of Alabama. What you guys think about that? Oh, well, yeah, I think Austin Diaz have his take. Yeah, we got D tackle out of Alabama, Tim Smith. What you guys take on that? I'll start with Austin.
Yeah, I mean, DT was like a backup DT was a need, not a huge need. So it makes sense to get one late, get a guy like Tim Smith from Alabama. I think it just made sense. I don't think he'll make a huge impact, but I do think he'll get in the game if it works out. So, I don't know. It's not a huge pick, but I don't it's fine.
Go ahead, Harish.
Yeah, he went to Alabama. I'm curious what you think. He's just another guy that can play multiple positions, right? He'll play defensive tackle. He can play defensive end if you play a 3-man front. Like, but he's not a big guy, right? He's not going to eat up. He's not Grover Stewart, if that's what you're.
Nowhere near.
But he's a little bit more athletic.
He's built like JT, the second round pick, sort of a little bit.
Yeah, he's a little athletic. 6'4", 302. He's a little stockier, right?
Run stopper. That's what you. Yeah.
But he's not going to clog holes, right? That's the thing. He's going to use his power to get downhill, but he's not going to clog holes.
No,
Um,
that's Grover Stewart spot,
yeah,
hands down. And the
and
other
if
guy,
you use him that way, again, he's a 6th round pick, man. Like I think that's all stat. Last year's draft rounds 4 through 7 in last year's draft, those guys played like 70% of the snaps in the NFL last year. Or something ridiculous like that. So these guys will play, and there will be situations where you're going to need them. So these guys that are 4 through 7 are more valuable now than they've ever been before because you just play so many snaps now that you need guys that can do different things in different situations. So yeah, I mean, he's got an opportunity to make the team. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's just another pick, just replacing what we already have, and Taven Bryant, who was absolute trash. So just having Tim, having is it Neville Gillimore, having that guy we picked up in free
Yeah.
agency.
Yep.
Those two guys would be a lot better than what we had last year, and Waquan Davis and Tavian Bryant. Those
For
two
sure.
guys were pretty bad. So you're just adding, two guys to replace those guys that are actually better than those two guys that we replaced. So just having Tim that's a run stopper. You say he's not going to plug holes because he's not big enough to do that. He's on a smaller side, but he can play that position. He's kind of built like I said, JT built like Deo Dingbo. So he's kind of built like that to where he can get to the quarterback. He won't have a lot of sack numbers. I think he had like maybe 6 sacks total as 3 years at Alabama. So he's just going to be a guy that we just replace Ben Taven Bryan and Waquan Davis. So as a fan of Alabama, I was excited, but I wasn't thinking he's going to make an immediate impact where he's going to make a Pro Bowl next year. I wasn't thinking like that, but it's just a guy that we replace, just adding depth. I know we don't like the word depth, so that's what it was.
If your starters can stay healthy, it's great depth, right?
Correct.
Problem is our starters can't stay healthy. They haven't been able to do so for years, and that's kind of where we run into issues.
I know Josh mentioned our last pick. I can get to it. Hunter Wohlhiller. I can't say that.
Hunter Wohler.
Yeah. Out of Wisconsin, linebacker. Well, he was a safety, switched to linebacker. We got him in the 7th round. I don't know much about him. I haven't read anything yet on him. So I'll let one of you guys, or if both of you guys want to break down this pick, if you love the pick or if you just another depth piece, because we pretty set on safety. Linebacker, we got Zaire and you got Jalen Carlos. So those going to be our 2 linebackers in his 4-2-5 defense. So go ahead, Harish.
I think this guy is going to be awesome. I actually really like this guy. His size is the thing that sticks out to me. And the ability if he plays out right, if he makes the team, I don't know if he will or not, but if he does, his ability to block tight ends is going to be his strength. Which there's a lot of tight ends in this league you have to be able to block now, and tight ends are not small, right? He's 6'2", 213 at the safety position, who moves really well. I think Josh already talked about it, right? And he's going to play a safety linebacker hybrid. Like, he's going to play a hybrid role in this defense. Lou Anarumo loves guys that can play multiple positions. And so he fits that mold. He's got a lot of experience. I think like 120 tackles in the last 2 years, right? Great tackler. I think this is going to be a great piece to add into our safety. I like this pick a lot.
I did see a highlight where he let a hit on a receiver for catching I mean, he got he's a hard-hitting linebacker of safety, however you want to call him. Yep. So you definitely need tackling in this defense because we didn't do a lot of that last year. So go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, I mean he's a hard hitter. I haven't seen a ton about him either, but I watched his interview, and he said, you know, he'll play wherever that he needs to play. He can play anywhere on the field. And just seeing a guy like that, it gets you excited. It gets you like pumped that he's going to do whatever it takes to get better for this team. Um, I just I don't know a ton about him, but it does seem like a fun pick, especially for the 7th round. And if he makes the team, he can make an impact because he is playing that hybrid role, like Harish said.
We definitely need, guys that play multiple positions. Like you said, playing, a safety playing linebacker. He's built like both. He actually built like a linebacker. He's built like a safety as well. It can hit. I think I kind of my comp. I don't know you guys comp it. I think he kind of remind me of a Hunter Smith. Hunter Smith was a hitter, hard hitter too, hard hitting safety. Watch the film, man. Reminds me. I just said. I didn't look.
Yeah.
I didn't even look at the comment and
Yeah.
said that it reminds me of Hunter Smith. So yeah, thank you, Josh. Both Josh think alike. Any other takes on the draft picks? What I got this. How would you grade the draft? I give it a B plus, based off, just really the first 3 picks for me, or first 4 picks. I'm sorry, first 4 picks for me is what I give it a B plus for. But what are your grades are?
Uh,
Go for it.
I was saying a B minus. I think it's a really good. It can be a really good draft. Um, so B minus for now.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I think it's a B. Like I don't think it's a B plus or a B. I think it's just an average B, right? And honestly, if it wasn't for the Tyler Warren pick, this could have been a worse draft. And I think he kind of holds that grade up a little bit.
Yeah.
DJ Giddens was a great pick. It's these other guys like Jalen Travis. Again, there's a lot of developmental prospects on here that if they pan out, it'll be great. Your first 3 rounds
On 1 out
to me,
snap,
like,
it's a
the
fact
way
that
the
I'm
draft is-
unstoppable.
Was that me?
It was me. I was
Oh, okay.
scrolling.
The way the way teams are built now, your first 3 picks have to be guys that can come in and be instant impacts. And I think Justin Wally will be. Obviously, Tyler Warren will be. I think Justin Wally can be. JT Tuamolo, like we'll see what happens with JT. I don't know. And so I think that's Justin Wally. I don't know about him, right? He could fit. Like I could see why they brought him in, but again, it's like, could you have waited and addressed another need? This team defensively lacks talent. Something we've talked about for so long. And to go see the guys that were around him that they could have drafted like in the 3rd round and then what they ended up with, like if you look at who got picked up after that, so this isn't obviously defense guy, but Dylan Fairchild, we could have used Dylan Fairchild as a guard. That would have been an excellent plug and play guard for us, right? Like Noel Williams is a guy that Jamari Caldwell would have been an awesome defensive tackle for us. That's a space eater. Like if you're looking for a guy like a Grover Stewart that's younger, Jamari Caldwell would have been awesome. Xavier Watts was available.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
did see that. I did see
Jalen's just like look at the guys that are around him that could have been plug and play players. Xavier Watts is a plug and play player for this defense, right? And how Xavier Watts falls as far as he does was insane to me. I thought the Falcons had an excellent draft. I thought the Falcons draft was awesome. I thought they did a fantastic job.
I can agree with that.
But when you look at where you are in the NFL these days and how much people play, it used to be your 1st and 2nd round pick, right? It had to be like home run hitters, right? guys that put in a lot of time. I think it's starting to bleed down into the third round as because of how deep these drafts are. Your first 3 picks have to be like spot on. Instant impact players, like high volume impact players. And I just don't think I don't. There's still some uncertainty on whether we got that or not. So that's probably why.
So we have a comment here. How many of the 8 picks will make it?
4, 5.
Tyler Warren, TJ, Travis, JT, Wally. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't.
I don't know who the undrafted
Ooh.
free agent. I don't know who the undrafted free agents are.
I think, matter of fact, I think all 8 will make it because they all are needed for his depth on his team.
You think all 8 of these guys will make it? I don't. Riley Leonard is not going to make the. Is not going.
Oh yeah, so then 7 out of 8 will make it.
I mean,
I
unless
don't know about Tim
Bean
Smith.
beats him out as QB3, I think Riley will be QB3.
Tim Smith, I don't know. Will make this team.
Well, you know it's gonna be tough. Yeah, it is gonna be tough for him to make it. So yeah, I guess 6 out of 8.
Yeah, and then we'll see what happens with Hunter Wohler. Like Hunter Wohler is promising.
I think
but
he
I
could
think he
be
can
a
make
good
team,
special teamer.
Yeah,
I mean,
if play special teams, that'll help him.
Like
Yeah, no,
immediately.
for sure.
If Daniel Scott can make the team, I can assure you Hunter can make it. Not saying anything bad about Hunter, but he's been not Hunter, Daniel Scott, safety. He's made it, but it got hurt. So
I will say about Justin Wally, if Juju can't stay healthy, I think Justin makes this team.
yeah,
And I think he'll play a significant role. He could jump, right?
I thought this pick was because of that. You know, just have a guy that
just to have a safety net. Yeah, that makes sense. But again, you could have got a guy in the 4th round, right? Like you could have. They need to go sign a guard because we need some guard depth. Like we don't have any right now. So, this is the one that hurts me so bad, man. How Xavier Watts fell.
I had a problem with that. You know, had you made that comment, you know, last week, I probably was like, you know what, we don't need a safety. We don't need another safety. We have Nick Cross is coming on as we trade up to get him for, and we gotta know what can be. So I was like, I don't think that would have been a luxury pick to me had we got
Xavier Watts is better than Nick Cross to me.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I think Xavier Watts is better than Nick Cross today. Like in their current, like Nick Cross only has experience in the NFL over Xavier Watts to me. I think Watts is better than Cross.
You're not wrong. I was just saying that, Cross is coming along as, the other safety.
He's still developing.
So it's still developing. So she's absolutely happy. We got Warren. I'm getting his jersey. A little JT pick and get his pick. Yeah, those 3 picks for sure. What I like. But I know Teresa wanted to speak on, or us to expound on the Shadur Sanders debacle, what we saw. He got drafted in the day 3. My take, I'll let you guys, I'll let you guys go first if I have my take. Any one of you guys want to speak on that? And you can be truthful. I don't care how you guys, feel about it, because probably feel the same. So go ahead.
Go for it, Austin.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he should have fell all the way to the 5th round. I think he is the second best quarterback in this draft. I think some people I don't know why they passed on him. Maybe he was not good in his interview. So I mean, we don't know everything that happened behind the scenes. I know people don't like how Dion got involved and whatnot, but at the end of the day, he shouldn't have fell to the 5th round.
That's fair. Go ahead, Arisha, unless you want me to go.
It's criminal, man. It's criminal. Like it's borderline unacceptable that this guy fell to the 5th round, and I think this might be a hot take. I think the Browns got the steal of the draft. Honestly, like you get the 2nd overall quarterback in the 5th round. You got the steal of the draft. Like this is the best value pick in the draft this year, and nobody can convince me otherwise. Like, look at these quarterbacks that got picked up before Shedeur Sanders. Tyler Shuck, who can't stay healthy. He's had 3. We talked about Tyler Shuck already, right? Like the dude was terrible at Texas State. He gets injured. He was terrible at he was terrible at where
Louisville,
did he
right?
go after that? Louisville?
He been on a couple teams. Was it? He only played on 2 teams, right? Or
Syracuse? I can't remember where we went after that. How this guy was a 2nd round pick makes absolutely no sense. Like
the second quarterback got drafted for him too, right? That second quarterback, yeah, he got
McCord.
drafted for him as well.
No, he didn't. McCord got picked up in the 6th round.
Okay,
Yeah.
he did. You're right. You're right. Is it Gabriel?
Yeah. I think Gabriel's really good. My problem with Dylan Gabriel is he's like 4 feet tall. That's my problem with Dylan Gabriel. He's like 4. He's too short. And yeah. Again, Dylan Gabriel is going to. He's not going to a great situation, so it's not like, oh, you know what? Don't worry about it. He's going to like Seattle or some competent franchise. Dylan Gabriel's going to Cleveland. It's not like he's going to this great franchise that knows how to develop quarterbacks. So I'm not terribly excited about him there. Like I just don't understand that either. And then I just don't understand Jalen Milroe.
Yes, that's what it was. So yeah, Jackson Dart.
I don't understand Jackson Dart either. I think Jackson Dart's like a 5th round quarterback, 4th round quarterback.
That's what it was. Yeah, it was. Of course, obviously, Ken Ward is.
Jackson Dart's going to be a bust. I'll tell you that right now. Jackson Dart is going to be a bust. That dude's going to bust out of the NFL in 3 years.
Yeah, Jackson Dart they traded back up in the 1st round to get him.
That's criminal, man. It is so criminal. I just don't get it. No, I think Shedeur Sanders is going to be. I think he'll win that job in Cleveland, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be all 5 quarterbacks out. He's going to win that job in Cleveland because he was. Guess what? You know who another quarterback was that a lot of people had questions about, but I thought was the best quarterback in their draft? C.J. Stroud. You know why I thought C.J. Stroud was the best quarterback in their draft? Because he was the most accurate. Shedeur Sanders is the most accurate quarterback in this draft. He's more accurate than
70%, 72%.
Dude, this guy can just go put on the Baylor tape, the game against Baylor they had this year. That's all you need to see. Like, give this guy an offensive line to block for him, and that dude's gonna cook defenses. Like, I don't care who his dad is. That dude's gonna cook defenses. But yeah, getting him in the 5th round, if Cleveland can somehow figure this out, and their new GM, we'll see what their new GM is, like their 85th GM in the last 10 years. We'll see how it goes, but I think Shedeur Sanders was a steal of the draft, in my opinion.
Both of you guys had well said comments on what you see and what you felt. What I saw was, a dad that was promoting his son, kind of promoted it a little bit too much. When you say he can't play for 5 teams, and the team they drafted him was one of the 5 teams that you didn't want him to go to, and it felt like it was a damn pick, like damn, here you go, because you just drafted Dylan Gabriel the previous round, 4th round, something like that. So it felt like you just did it just to appease fans and the rest of the NFL fans that were commenting on it. And then another side of it, I think Shedeur was cocky. The risk. I got a Rolex and I got money. I don't really need to be interviewing because if you don't draft me, your culture don't change. He felt like the teams needed him to change culture. They don't need no team needs any player to change the culture. That's how he felt. He came off as arrogant like that, you know. And that's just what the Sanders being a Sanders come with. You know, they are confident, cocky players. I don't have a problem with that. Sometimes it just when you're over cocky, it leads to these type of decisions. The NFLs make you wait 3 days to get picked, where you feel like you was a day one guy.
Yeah.
His draft party was set up for day one, not day 2, day 3. Despite him being pranked by the Falcons DC son, which is bad. That plays a part too. I just think I didn't like that. That definitely bothered me because that played a part of him not getting drafted because he felt like he was going to was it the Saints? A fake call from the Saints, right?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Which was drafting like top 10, I think. So he thought he was going earlier than when going 5th. So that's that, you know, for a kid that's what 23, 24, and you had that moment taken away from you by somebody else was playing a prank with you. It is unacceptable. I don't know how you got the number, but I just feel like being cocky, over cocky, and overconfident sometimes, you know, this league would show you that I don't need you. The Browns didn't have to draft him. They already had Joe Flacco. They already had Kenny Pickett. They already had, you know, Watson is out for a year. And they just drafted, you know, Dylan Gabriel. So they didn't need you. They just drafted you because there was so much heat going on. And they didn't pass you several times. The Saints obviously showed you they didn't want you. The Raiders showed that they didn't want you. And they had Tom Brady as one of the owners over there. And he didn't get you. This is a moment to be humble. Be humble. You can be confident, but be humble. Moving forward, go out there and win a job. He can win a job, and he can start this year. He just had to have the confidence and go out there and put the work in as he have done at Jackson State and Colorado and make a name for himself. I just feel like his daddy spoke too soon, and then he didn't help with the interviews and the flashy watch and all of the stuff. He didn't help with that. So that's my take on that. I don't think there was any collusion as far as league wise. I just think that they felt like, well, we don't need you, so we're going to show you that. And so the Browns was just like, here you go, we got you. And I think that's going to give him a chip on his shoulder to be able to perform on the field moving forward. So I like that pick for the Browns. I don't think Brown quarterbacks typically play well anyway. They had Baker Mayfield. They ran his ass out of there. They're running Deshaun Watson out of there. So I don't want this to happen to Deshaun Watson. Maybe he's the man for that city. But if he's not winning, they're going to want him out. So what did Teresa say is I was going to ask if Dion he did. So it didn't help. He didn't help saying that his son can't play for 5 teams. He went on the interview or he was on the show saying that. And then he tweeted about the Browns. So it didn't help. And Browns the one that drafted him. So he got to eat the crow. So any take on that, guys, before you either get up out of here? They say Tyler won. Yeah, he was ranked also. Yeah, he was pranked. I think the same guy. He called him at the 7th pick, but obviously it was fake. So he had to sit for 7 more picks. And hey, I'm glad.
Thank you. Yeah,
I'm glad.
I'm not complaining about Tyler Warren. Like that sucks for him. But I'm not mad about that. But I think there needs to be a little bit of arrogance as a quarterback, right? Like you have to have some arrogance. Aaron Rodgers is an arrogant quarterback. That guy's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game, right? Like
yes.
We see Tom Brady's personality after he retired, but during when he played for the most of his career, people thought he was arrogant too. Like you have to come off as arrogant. I think it was. I don't think it was arrogance that played it. Like people know who he is. Like people know who his dad is, and I think it was more of like something he had to have said something to teams when he went into those interviews. Like forget like what comes out on social media. Forget like all that extra stuff. But when you go into those interview rooms, you had to have said something that did not rub somebody the right. And I think that's what it comes down to. Is somebody said something that didn't rub him the right way, and that's what ended up being the thing that dropped him. I still think he said something in those interview rooms.
Yeah, he probably said something.
I don't know what it is, but
I think
he
it was
said
a culture
something.
thing. I think it may have been a culture thing that he's thinking that he can change a culture with the
Could be.
team.
I don't know.
Nobody changes
We
culture.
might never find out either.
Teresa, we should be on next week. I know you got to go to bed. It's getting late. You watched the Pacers win, so you're excited. But yeah, we should be on next week, same time next week, giving more intel on these draft picks and to moving forward on either offense and defensive side. So we'll give y'all more intake on that in the next couple of weeks. So we'll be on next week. Like I said, I mean, Brown's got a good steal. They got, to get him in the 5th round, that's a steal because I mean, he was projected to go top 5. What was your surprise pick in this draft before we get out of here? What was your surprise pick? I know a lot of people want to say Travis Hunter, Jags trading up to 2nd and grabbing him. But what was your surprise pick? I'll let Austin go ahead and go.
Just in the draft in
all
general.
7 rounds. Whatever pick that you feel like, that team got richer. Rich got richer,
Well, I mean, obviously, Jahad Campbell going to the Eagles was a surprise. Didn't think he'd fall that far. And then a surprise the opposite way is when Jackson Dart went in the 1st round. Didn't
That was
expect
crazy.
that. So,
whatever he said was eventually
yeah.
It'll come out. But man, whatever it said was into the entire league. Now that's probably where your collusion would be at.
That's what it had to be. Yeah. That's definitely what it had to be.
What was your surprise?
Jahdae Barron to the Broncos was my surprise.
Oh, yes. Yes, that was. I'm like, damn.
Jahdae Barron and PS2 are like people
Wow.
do not realize how good of a secondary those two guys are going to be. That the Broncos secondary is going to be absolutely insane with those two guys. And they've already got a really good secondary. But how Jahdae Barron fell to 20, no clue. I thought that was the pick that I was like the most like wow. And that's obviously Jahad Campbell to the Eagles is unreal. Andrew Makuba to the Eagles is unreal. But like that's one thing. That's one pick we haven't talked about is how Jahdae Barron ended up with the Broncos. For me, the other way around. I just don't understand Tyler Shuck to the Saints in the 2nd round. I'm
crazy.
still baffled by that. And not only did he end up there, didn't they trade up to get him? No, they didn't. That would have been even more insane. But Tyler Shuck to the Saints, like I don't think I will ever forget that pick.
He won't play, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude. Yeah,
he's too old to be playing.
That's a great example of how like 90% of the GMs in this league are stupid. Like, and I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. They've been in the league longer than I don't really care. 90% of the GMs in this league are dumb.
That wasn't drafting the best player available. They just drafted a quarterback for shits and giggles.
Yeah, not even he was like the 5th or 6th ranked quarterback in the class. I talked about it. The quarterback evaluation in this draft makes absolutely no sense to me. And I think that's a lot like media motivated. Like the media ranked these guys a certain way, and scouts did not see that.
Right.
And I think it was obvious when there was only one quarterback taken in the 1st round. Like NFL circles saw this quarterback class as a bad quarterback class, which is what most of us thought. But for some reason, the media thought this there was value in these classes. Yeah. There's still undrafted free agents that are really good. Kobe Bryant went undrafted. I mean, he obviously ended up with the team, his size was. I'm curious to see who's going to end up with Isaiah Bond if he gets this thing situated. That's going to be interesting.
The receiver from Oregon, he was almost undrafted.
Yeah, he ends up with the Cowboys. I actually think it's a great pick for the Cowboys.
Tez Johnson, yeah, I was like,
Not Tez Johnson, the other guy.
Yeah, Oregon. I was talking to Oregon. Tez Johnson, he was almost nearly undrafted, but he got picked up. Maybe Packers, something like that. I can't remember. The team they got him.
Let's see.
I can't remember.
I thought the Packers quietly had a really good draft too.
Oh yeah, they got your guy. They got your guy, so yeah.
Obviously, Tez Johnson ends up in
the Bills,
Tampa Bay.
Okay, yeah. So yeah. That's a good pick too.
I think Kyle Williams to the Patriots was a great pick too, in the third round. That was a great value pick. Luther Burden to the Bears should be interesting, right? If they can, if Roma Dunze can step up, they have DJ Moore and Luther Burden can play well. Mm-hmm. So I think they're putting all the right pieces behind Caleb Williams. He's gonna have to play this year. I think they're actually doing a good job of building a solid team around.
Falling to the Eagles, yeah, that's crazy.
All right, Josh. Right? They'll find the best player at a position that we need, and just give me that guy. We'll make it work.
I think I got many surprise. Jalen Rose go to the Chiefs. Add another receiver. The rich get richer. Same thing with the Eagles getting linebacker that they didn't need. Maybe surprised Will Howard fell to the Steelers. I know they was probably thinking about Merrill and Sanders, but they got a guy that wanted to go to Pittsburgh, so they got Will Howard. And there was another.
Oh, Baltimore. Malachi Starks going to Baltimore.
Yes, that's what. Yes. That was in the first round.
What? Rich get richer, man.
And they had a great draft. They had a great one. They had a great one. I was surprised about that one.
They also get Mike Green.
Yes, they did. Yeah. So I don't know how they did that, but that was some willing dealing. Because I think they kept trading out, kept making a bunch of trades. That team was making a lot of trades to get the guys that they got.
Traded 3 times in the draft.
So yeah. Maybe I can go with I guess the Texans receivers they got. They got those.
I thought that was weird. I know we were talking to our Texans fan battle guys. Like they said they need a receiver depth, but they got 2 receivers from the same team.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
I don't really know like how that works. I mean, that'll be interesting to see.
Another team.
Let's see. I'm trying to see who else here.
Well, are you surprised that Junty went to the Raiders?
Not really. I mean, the Raiders, if you look at who they had before, they had Josh Jacobs.
I don't know who they had before.
They had Josh Jacobs for the longest time. They drafted him in the first round. People were like, wait, what? I think Genty to the Raiders is the Raiders. That's like a Raiders thing to do. And Pete Carroll is going to build that team that way, right? He's going to lean on defense. They went defense a lot in this draft. They drafted a corner, 2 tackles. They also drafted a bunch of they drafted a bunch of offense. They get a wide receiver, which the wide receiver they got in the second round made no sense. And they traded up for that guy, Jack Beck. Like, I don't know why they got him. They got Deontay Thornton Jr. Austin, do you know anything about him?
He's very fast and he can catch, but he had trouble staying healthy.
Perfect. That's the Raiders. The Raiders love that type of guy.
But his speed, he has really good speed, and he's tall.
Yeah, I like their Darian Porter pick, the cornerback out of Iowa State. I thought that was a good pick for them. And they also get JJ Pegs from Ole Miss. I like that pick too. And Tonka Hemingway. I thought those were, so I mean they got some good value there.
I was surprised that the receiver from Arizona fell. And he wasn't the first. I think he wasn't the first receiver to get drafted, right?
Yeah, he gets picked to the Panthers at 8. He still goes top 10.
Yeah.
I won't expect him to go there. I thought it was either. I think Jacksonville. I thought had
I
it.
thought he was going to go to New England.
New England. Yeah, one of those, but not that early. Jacksonville
Yeah, I
was
thought
like,
he was going to go 4 to New England. Honestly, I thought he was. Because they need a wide receiver. They don't have a wide receiver 1. They still don't have a wide receiver 1.
They got Diggs.
They don't have a wide receiver 1.
they do not. Yeah,
They have Stephon Diggs? That
They
dude's
do.
going to go in there in 3 weeks in the season, man, and this team sucks. And then he's going to dip or hold out or something crazy.
But yeah, that was. I mean, those my surprises. That those were surprises. I mean, Josh said Justin Wiley was his surprise pick, but we'll see how it pan out when it's time to the guys to put the pads and helmets on and able to tackle. Any take before we get out of here? Go ahead.
I hated Mason Taylor to the Jets. I hate that landing spot for him.
Oh, they got him?
Yeah. I don't dislike the player. I dislike the organization he went to.
We were kind of surprised. I didn't think Colston Loveland should have been drafted at 9 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ballard talked about that too. I think it was more flavor than anything.
Yeah.
And to me, when he said that, to me, it sounds like they were going to get either one of those two. It was going to be either Warren or Loveland.
Oh, I'm okay with that too.
I wouldn't have loved. I would have traded down for if it was Loveland, but I'm glad they got Warren.
Right.
I wouldn't have taken Loveland at 14, but
if you trade down to get him, I would.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I would have. Like he ended up going 10. Like he's not one of the 10 best players in this draft.
Hell no. That's why I was surprised.
Colston Loveland is not he's probably not even one of the best 20 best players in this draft.
Yeah, if you go with 20 players that were drafted, I wouldn't put him up there. And I can't go to 20 by now.
Yeah.
What's the 20? I can't. Yeah, 20 right now. I can't tell you all 20 off the top of my head.
I was surprised that Emeka Egbuka dropped as much as he did.
How far he dropped?
He went 19 to the Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers quietly had a good draft too.
And they picked up, Shiloh, undrafted. So
yeah, well, that's undrafted. I think Shiloh can make that team. They got Benjamin Morrison in the 2nd round, Jacob Parrish in the 3rd round.
Benjamin.
They end up with Tej Johnson in the 7th. Emeka Egbuka. And they only had 5 picks.
Oh, the Ohio State.
Yeah. They had a good draft too.
Yeah, because like you said, Mike Evans is getting old and Godwin can't stay healthy. So you just got 2 receivers that replace those guys at some point. Mike Evans still got some wheels on his, he got more extra years on him, so he can definitely.
I think who was I saying? There was a receiver I was saying that's going to be the new Mike Evans. Oh, T-Mac. T-Mac's going to be the new Mike Evans.
Oh, the Panthers?
Yeah. Bryce Young just has to throw it up to that guy and let him go get it. Like
so
T-Mac's AJ Brown, Mike Evans. He's going to be one of those types of guys. I love T-Mac. A lot of people don't. I think he's awesome. I think he's going to be great.
I mean, he's the beast.
Man, he's going to be a dog.
They got 2 good receivers over there. I was thinking about the tandem having the previous one they were drafted last year, and then having T-Mac. It's a threat. I mean, I don't think they win the division or get close to. I think it's still Atlanta's division to lose.
I think so too. Atlanta Atlanta had an excellent draft. Atlanta to me, A+ draft.
The Saints took a step back. I don't know who they got. I can't remember.
Tyler Shuck. I still don't understand that, man. Like that move baffles me. But Atlanta was. Dude, they ended up with Jalen Walker and James Pierce.
I was jealous with that one.
That's
crazy.
And
we passed on him.
Watts.
We passed on James Pierce.
Right? Yeah, we passed on James Pierce and Jalen Walker. They traded back up into the 1st round to get James Pierce. I thought Atlanta had a great draft. And they only had 5 picks. I think Billy Bowman in the 4th round. great pick. I mean, I know I give Oklahoma players a lot of crap, but I think Billy Bowman's pretty good. Yeah, I thought Tampa Bay had a great draft too.
I mean, yeah. You don't think? You know what? I think Tampa Bay could win that division. Atlanta is pretty good. I think Tampa Bay is the more.
They're a team to beat.
Who?
Tampa Bay.
Man, I think Penix being, of course, he's older. I think he can take this.
Oh, that's right. He is the quarterback now. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It's fun though. We'll see.
Anything before we go? Anything, Austin? Like you, we've been running our mouths about everything, and I know
that wraps up 25. Oh, by the way, just real quick, I just want to let you guys know, and hopefully people in the chat are just here listening. Newsflash, spoiler alert: Arch Manning is not coming out in next year's draft. I'm just gonna let you guys know that.
Please, yeah, thank you. I am happy that you're saying this because they keep thinking that, well, maybe we should tank. He'll be drafted next year. We're not getting.
He's not coming out next year, so you'd be tanking for no reason.
For what quarterback? Really, what quarterback is you think there would be a piece for us to build on around next year?
I think there's a lot of really good quarterbacks in next year's draft.
Which one would you rather have in Indy if you had to?
Garrett Nussmeier.
Who?
Garrett Nussmeier.
Fuck no. From LSU?
Yeah. Dude, listen, dude.
No, that's
Look, let me tell you about Garrett Nussmeier. Garrett Nussmeier took a step back last year because LSU's offensive line was terrible.
So you're blaming Kelly?
Yes, I am blaming Kelly. That offensive line was not good. Here's the thing. He was a first-year starter, right? Garrett Nussmeier was.
Mm-hmm.
Behind a makeshift offensive line that couldn't stay healthy. Garrett Nussmeier is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in college football this year. I put it on. I put money on it today. He'll be one of the top 3 quarterbacks in college football this
year. You hear that, Chad? He's betting me right now that he's going to be hot. What now?
Top 3 quarterback.
Okay, no, never mind. I'm not betting it. It's not hard.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the Tennessee Vols, Nico. I'm sorry.
I also really like Cade Klubnik.
No, he's pretty good too.
The Clemson quarterback.
You didn't mention the quarterback from that's replacing Shador. Juju.
Oh, Juju's not replacing Shador. Juju's not. Caden Slovis is going to replace Shador, and Caden Slovis is really good. But I don't know if Caden Slovis is coming out next year. Not Caden Slovis. Oh shoot, what's his name? Actually, the quarterback from Liberty.
Oh, okay, I got it.
What's his name? Shoot, I literally just forgot his name.
What you said, Austin?
Is it Slater or is that wrong?
Yeah, it's like Slater. Let me see, something like that. How did I forget his name? Like I was
Ohio State quarterback, the new quarterback they have, Ohio State.
Which one? They don't know which one they're playing. Yeah, Caden Salter. Yeah, I like Salter. I like Caden Salter a lot, but I don't know if he's like one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Caden Salter, by the way, from Texas.
It wouldn't be. Well, I'm saying it wouldn't be Nussmeier.
Oh no, Garrett! I'm telling you right now, Garrett Nussmeier will be one of the best 3 quarterbacks in the country this year.
We had to read.
I'm just book it, bro. Book it.
I think Arch Manning better than him.
I mean, I think Arch Manning is going to be the best quarterback in the country. But by the time like December rolls around, Arch Manning will probably be the best quarterback in the country. But I'm not going to put him in at that level yet because we got to let the season play out, right?
Yeah.
He's still a first-year starter. He's going to he's not going to be perfect every game. He's going to go through some rough patches. Like people have to. This is the problem. They did the same thing with Quinn Ewers. They saw Quinn Ewers for 2 quarters against Alabama. They're like, man, this guy's. I remember that year. They're like, this guy's never going to make a mistake.
I think
And then the Oklahoma State game happens that year, and then the Kansas State game happens that year. and then they go 5-7 after and blow 6 halftime leads that season. Like
what you're
going
saying is
to have to give this guy some time.
What you're saying is that you guys have been not. This is not a slight at the organization or program. Is that you haven't seen really good quarterback play in a while, and so when you got Quinn Ewers, everybody was just so excited to have a quarterback that they can, and sort of like what the Titans are doing with Cam Ward. They haven't seen good quarterback play in a while. I mean, I wouldn't even say, all of just. They ain't have it been a while since that. Marcus Mariota wasn't good. Tannehill wasn't. He was decent.
That was okay.
We know
Tannehill was the best example of we set him up for success because we built the right team around him.
Well, I really want to say they drafted a last drafted quarterback that was somewhat serviceable was Marcus Mariota, but
Marcus Mariota was terrible. That dude was trash. That dude was awful.
They was going 9-7 with them, so I kind of give them some grace, something.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. Yes, what I'm saying is Quinn Ewers was the best quarterback we had at the University of Texas since Colt McCoy,
which has been a while.
It's not 15 years. Like by the time it had been 15 years from Colt McCoy to Quinn Ewers by the time he actually played. And right as of today, as we sit, Quinn Ewers is the third best quarterback to ever play for the University of Texas.
Which is big. I mean, I'm hoping you got Vince Young in there.
Oh yeah, Vince Young is number one.
Okay.
Right. Houston Street, like a lot of guys like Houston Street. I like Houston Street. Like Houston Street was before my time, obviously. Like he was from the 80s, but 70s, 80s. And Colt McCoy is probably number 2 in my mind. And I think Quinn surpasses. I think Quinn surpasses Houston Street, and then Houston Street is number 4.
That's not bad. It's not a bad take.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm saying how fans are get excited. It's been a while since you had good quarterback play, and when you get a quarterback that plays well, they just look how the Titans fan did Will Levis against the Atlanta game. He was King Levis, and now he's trash, and they're ready to get rid of him.
Now he's King Mayo on a different game. So.
But anything else before we go? We've definitely been on too long. Hour. 2 hours. 2
hours.
But it's been a while.
Like, shut up, guys. Like, I gotta go.
It felt like Austin was sleeping just for a second.
Yeah, bro. You awake there over there, bro? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
I'll let Austin go ahead and plug in your social so we can get out of here, man.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at CookieAustin2.
All right, Harish.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at the Uncle Gandhi.
And you can find me on Twitter at whoisJosiah. And on that note, we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here.
On one out snap, it's a fact that I'm unstoppable. Forget your defense, nothing but an